give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight it's the Furniture Mart Weekly Series as we get into the Willy's Woodshed 150 here at Southern National. I'm Dean Doucette, joined tonight by Mr. Baron Labosco and Brandon Bass here joining us. Baron, at home tonight, I hear, broadcasting here for Southern National.
Coming at you from the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana, Dean, and can't explain how excited I am to be sitting in my very comfy chair right now calling this amazing race. It's been a long time coming, probably Christmas. So we got 150 laps here at Southern National with these super lates tonight. Should be an interesting race tonight.
Now, Baron, you're at home. Does that mean you got a custom beer fridge right beside you? Or?
I got me a good 24-ounce stein filled with Jack Daniels and Diet Coke, friends. It's going to be an interesting evening.
Oh, God, I'm picturing it with two hoses running up to the helmet, folks, right into the mouth. This could be a bad one.
Straight mainlining it, Dean.
We bring in Brandon Bass here to do some reporting tonight, too. Brandon, happy to have you on board tonight. What do you think about a little late model action here?
Man, it's going to be a good show, I'm sure. I mean, we got a medium-sized field, but based on what I've seen in practice, and boys going to dice it up for us. Appreciate you having me on tonight, too, man.
Happy to have you, man. Excited to get this one going, as, of course, the apps are going to give us a little bit of trouble here, Baron.
Wouldn't be a nap if it didn't give us trouble, so... Yeah, 150 laps here at Southern National. There's 2 lanes here, Dean, as you well know. We've also got... 12 of our most experienced drivers in the field. So we're expecting a lot of points racing tonight, where we're coming towards the end of the season. Small field like this, you cannot lose a season just yet. But some of these guys are going to be going for that checker flag to win it.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, short field, great opportunity here. And you see our keys to the race: track position, pitting, strategy. Well, even more important with less drivers, not more important to necessarily that you can lose 30 positions, but your opportunities go up. Brandon, when there's only this many people, say you may come to a point there's only 8 guys on the lead lap. If you're in 7th, isn't that a great opportunity to come down pit road, maybe get tires that nobody else has?
Of course, man. Anytime you can get a little edge up over the rest of the field, that's always going to help you in the long run. Especially fresh rubber, man. Tires are sticky. They're getting through the corner real smooth, and you can throttle up off, real easy too. It's going to increase your lap speed.
It is, and you look at this field here, Baron. Got the old timers here. We know these guys very well. And you look at someone like Brian Cole. We'll get to qualifying in a minute, but once again, not on the pole. Not a big surprise. I mean, it's kind of not what he does. But he's always there late, and it's got a lot to do with that strategy we just talked about.
Yeah, it sure does. And we know Brian Cole's a pacing driver. With a small field like this, he can be as patient as he wants to be. So we have some, basically our same staple of drivers and the same stable of drivers, right? There's Colin Kennedy, Austin Miller, Caleb Dyer, Austin Purnell, back-to-back winner in the last 2 events here in the weekly series. So all the familiar faces, just different racetrack for him to compete on.
Yeah, absolutely. Purnell, I mean, interesting. Going for the triple here, the trifecta. That'll be awesome to watch and see what he can get done. Adam Cole starting to grit up out here. Of course, rocking that K-T.org machine. Love to see that out there. That'll bring us right into tonight's starting grid, brought to you by k-t.org. And it's going to be Colin J. Kennedy tonight out front. How about that? Colin J. putting in some practice this week. Wouldn't you know it, practice pays off. He's on the point with a time of 13.60. Austin Miller will start on the outside of row number 1. That's a good showing for Austin, too. We often talk about him coming through the field. Tonight, he won't have to do that. Caleb Dyer will start in row number 2, along with two-time winner in a row, Mr. Austin Purnell. And you got Adam Cole and Brian Cole, a couple of brothers in row number 3. They throw their son, or Brian's son that is, back behind them in 7th. That's the way it always should be. Kids always to the back, right? Jeff Bunton will start 8th, Bradley Smith in 9th. It's Brad Ebley back in 10th, and Dylan Connor, wow, Dylan Connor usually on the point. He'll start back in 11th tonight.
Yeah, a few dark horses in the field here too. Jeff Bunton, Bradley Smith, Brad Abley. These guys, newer to the series. Look for one of these guys to make their way to the front. It's a good opportunity for them tonight to showcase their talents.
Of course, there's that beautiful Slim Jim machine of Jeff Bunton. Oh, yeah. Just got to get an oh, yeah in there.
It's my favorite. Well, it's right behind my favorite.
The lap time differences between the field here, the top 5 are basically stacked right on top of each other as far as lap times on the qualifying run. That could spell for maybe disaster or even really great racing through the race here.
Yeah, I mean, great point. It could go either way, couldn't it, Baron?
Well, and then it normally does, right? Every time we think we know what we're talking about, this field will throw us a curveball, Dean.
Yes, sir. So we're just about ready to go green flag racing here in the Willy's Woodshed 150. And you know, the smaller field, you got to think green flag runs. These guys are going to have to be a little bit patient. You see Adam Cole out there getting those brakes warmed up. Walker back in his Krispy Kreme machine.
The potential of a green flag pit stop is awesome within this series, and we'll see who actually practiced and who didn't.
Well, you see, Baron, often potential is not fulfilled. That's kind of the story of my life. Here we go. Colin J. Kennedy down and away. Miller on the outside, challenging right off the bat. Austin Miller rocking the high side. Looks like Colin J. going to prevail, though.
And this is a track you can run the high side, Dean, so you'll see some guys up here. Some on purpose, most in defense, like we see Austin here. But Austin having a hell of a time right now with Colin J. He's got one off the wall.
Caleb Dyer, and he blinks out after that wall smash. I see Sparks, who is still around, and I called the front too early. Looks like Miller going to go around on the high side, take the point. So Austin Miller to the lead. What a nice job.
Yeah, we've seen that on Austin before, and Austin has been real close in the last few weeks. He may be, refocusing his efforts to get out front and stay there.
Well, I like it. I mean, get out front, get that clean air, get that clean track, get yourself a lead. It's Kennedy in second, Dyer in third, Adam Cole and Walker Cole fourth and fifth, Purnell, Button. Brian Cole slipped back a couple there, though. No surprise at Brian being patient early here.
And Brandon, what we've seen out of Brian Cole here is he is just managing his rubber right now. We'll see him make an earlier pit stop than the rest of the field, and by the end of the race, he'll be there.
Yeah, you'll find that a lot of these experienced drivers, they'll know to just take care of the stuff, let the field kind of settle in, let people make their mistakes, burn the tires off and everything, and just they'll be there at the end every time. I have no doubt these guys that's been racing for a while, they're going to show up there towards the end.
So everybody getting in line early. And Jay Dubuque doing something down here, not sure. Looks like he was sniffing the rail. I think I seen him kick up a back leg. I don't know if that's what I seen or not.
And Jay's off the track. We're down to 11 cars.
All right, Brian Cole making a move under Bunton right now. 15, taken to the inside row. He's going to bring Dylan Connor with him. Watch out for Connor. Well, and Cole, both fast cars here at the back.
And we've seen that high side prevail for the lead earlier. You don't think them guys are going to move up and maybe find a little extra speed up there?
Well, I think what you've seen was something that, I mean, it can be done, but it's best done early, right? Guys on the bottom early on, a little tentative on cold tires, and you can shock them a bit, and you can get around that high side. But also, Austin Miller, he has the talent and the ability to do it. I'm not sure everybody does. I mean, and I don't mean that as a slight. I don't think I have the talent to run that high side like that.
That's a good point, too. And it does kind of pinch the inside line coming off the corner, so it's kind of harder to get to the throttle. But it's just interesting to see the outside line prevail, though.
It really is. And if we get any restarts later on or any tight racing, it could come into play.
And will come into play, right? Because we are championship racing now, so every pass matters.
Right now, Purnell starting to work on Adam Cole. I think Caleb Dyer is still not being shown on the track. Or yes, he is, but he's hitting the wall up there. Here comes Purnell underneath Adam Cole. That's going to be a quick pass for the 38 as he goes in search of his third in a row. Now, Barron, I was broadcasting the other night in honor of you during one of my interviews. I asked someone the hot dog question there, and they said plain. Is that an acceptable answer?
Unacceptable and un-American, Dean.
I told him exactly that, Barron, in your honor. I told him it was unacceptable. I'm glad you concur.
I got to figure, what's he on keto or something? What's going on with this guy?
Well, I didn't go that far, but we'll find out some other night. Up front, Miller starting to walk away. Kennedy in second. Dyer in third. Purnell fourth. Adam Cole trying to hold on here. He's lost a couple of spots. Well, he gained a couple, and then he lost a couple, and now Walker Cole and Brian Cole start to work on him, another Cole. So the Cole train fighting each other here.
You're probably seeing them tires and guys taking care of them early. I mean, we're only 21 laps in, but it don't take 3 or 4 to really start burning the tires up, and we might be seeing an example of that now out of the 83.
Every time I say Cole train, I think of the Soul Train back in the day. Anybody remembers that?
Coal train.
Exactly. So Walker makes a move down to the inside. And Adam's going to try and hold him off here. I like this. Put up a little fight. The K-T.org machine, KT support group. Oh, and contact there, or at least almost contact.
A little bit of rub with the unk.
Yeah, you could see the 10 car struggling to get back on the throttle and really carry that momentum off the corner.
You see, Adam's got a lamb on that car. He's getting slaughtered like a lamb right now, so I don't know. You might want to remove that.
Now, Adam's having a nice little run on his high side. I'm wondering how long or what he's learning, right? How long can he hold it? And what is he learning while he's up there? You know what I mean?
Well, this is what Brandon brought up, right? And here we go. Adam you're right. I mean, I made a joke. It didn't really work because he's doing a heck of a job up there. I mean, Walker's going to prevail. The high side doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think if he was to back his corner up just a little bit more from what I can see on screen here, he would actually get a better drive off than what he's getting now. He probably could have held off the 10 a little bit longer there.
Let's see from our blimp cam if we can get an idea of who's diving in and who isn't. See Brian Cole in the black car seemed to drive in a little further, but he's not getting the run off the corner either. That's usually the trade-off.
And we've seen Brian Cole do this with each one of his races. He tends to charge the corner more than the average driver. So Brian doing Brian things right now, and he's really putting some pressure on the 83.
We now want to hop on board here with Dylan Connor. He is right behind the Coles. Oh, and Brian's in the wall hard. He does a little avoidance there, and he does get out of the way of Dylan Connor. Wow. You can see how treacherous that is from inside the car.
In an instant. That was really good heads-up driving by Dylan there.
Yeah, both guys really. I mean, amazing action.
Now, Dean, how sensitive are these cars to damage? I mean, that was a pretty hard hit out the 15. Is he going to start seeing a big major change in how the car's handling it all?
I mean, that's a great question, and I think all cars are similar, right? Short track, it really doesn't do that much, but it really depends on the lick. I mean, that's a pretty hard lick. That might cause some kind of steering problem. I'm not sure.
Well, as long as the aero, we don't need the aero too much here at these short tracks. As long as that steering wheel is straight is what we're concerned with.
Well, it don't seem like he's falling too far behind the 92 at least anyway. They're both kind of...
I mean, it sounds more like what Earnhardt said with rattle the cage there. I think his cage has been rattled a little bit.
And his fillings.
Don't say filling, Ryan. I still have this tooth in my mouth.
Tastes great.
I'm going to do a live on-air pulling of this tooth soon.
I told you I would do it. We'll tie it to the back end of one of these cars, have them hit the gas, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, I got a feeling I could hold that car in place. Walker Cole back here in 5th position. He's moved up a couple. And I still haven't got my 6-pack of Krispy Kremes.
It's in the mail.
Makes for a good-looking paint scheme, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it does. Sharp-looking car. I like it a lot. Brian Cole, Adam Cole's in the wall, so Cole on Cole crime, perhaps. Let's get a quick replay and see what happened to Adam. Good job getting that car turned around there. So here comes Brian, or no, that's Dylan Connor behind him. Oh, and Adam just drives into the wall. Dylan, that's the second Cole who's done that in front of him. This one he could not avoid. So Dylan scaring people out there tonight, Baron.
Yeah, and he's got a little damage for his effort there, too. Hopefully it's not too much on that 92.
Yeah, he's made a lot of headway through the race. It seems he's up 5 positions from start. I mean, hopefully
so we see some early pits now.
Let's see, we look back from Walker's car here. Can't really, it's too far back to see any damage at this point. Caleb Dyer stays out along with Bradley Smith. You got Jeff Bunton out there and Adam Cole off of pit road. Miller's going to be first out. Colin J, Walker Cole. Oh, actually, Purnell. Looks like Walker may have got a penalty. He let Purnell go by there. Must have been a race off the line there.
That's tough for Dylan. He lost a few spots, but no, they're sorting back out now. He lost a couple spots off the pit road there, so he had to do a little bit of repair damage.
Yeah,
we were talking about Ryman Castle. Ryman joining us out there in YouTube land. Good to have you watching us here on Wind Tunnel TV, Ryman. Smash that like button for us. Let everybody know you're enjoying the broadcast. Can't wait to have you back, buddy.
There's that Dylan Connor machine. I think there might be a little damage on the right side of that car. Hard to tell. So Dyer and Bunton up front. Miller and Kennedy in row number 2. And we're green flag racing once more.
Good jump off the line for the lead.
And Miller straight looking for the lead again. He peeks underneath. Nothing doing. This time he's got it.
Easy work of that. Caleb Dyer, good race car driver. Austin Miller just blew his doors off.
Yeah, I mean, he really did. That was an amazing run. Miller is really rocking this place tonight. Congested back here. They get it sorted out. Dylan Connor still fighting. That looked like Buntner. That was Bradley Smith back there. Connor rocking the high side. Go ahead, Brandon.
I said Bradley, I think it was in the 95, didn't it? Car? Yeah, he got real sideways coming off turn 2 a while ago. Which you were just commenting on what you were speaking on just then.
Yeah, he might still got a little loose there. That allowed Dylan Connor to go on by. You see Brian Cole back here taking it easy. Colin J, who was on the point, He's back in 6th position now in heavy traffic. He's got cars coming low, cars coming high.
Yeah, that's a bad place when you're almost 3 wide.
That damage didn't hurt that 92 too bad. He's making a lot of headway on that outside.
Yeah, Dylan Connor, no slouch, on the move from the high side. He can take it high, he can take it low. That's a good place to be.
That'll take another one.
There.
Right around button he goes. What was that?
3 Machine up into Bradley Smith there. He and Bradley been training paint.
All right. Hard fighting back here. The 3 not liking being back in traffic, trying to rotate that bottom, stay real low. It's costing him time.
Dylan Connor looking underneath Walker now. He's completing the pass.
Yeah, Dylan Connor, man. He's up 7 spots into 4th, really on the move. In front of him, it's Purnell, then Dyer, then Miller, all alone on the track. The 42 has completely checked out.
Yeah, he's out to a 4
I mean, I've
lead.
never seen anything like this. How did he get this far out here?
He's on old tires too, ain't he? He didn't come down pit road.
He did. He's got fresh ones, but still, 4 seconds.
That's
Unbelievable. You just don't see that here in these late models.
He's got something figured out.
I mean, he is not even on camera, folks. He's going to be in lap traffic before anybody sees him. He just went by the start-finish line. That is unbelievable.
He has found something at this track that he's liking, and it's working.
Well, I think he stopped letting his wife race, and he's back in the car. That's all.
That helps sometimes. I know I keep commenting on Dylan here, but he's just, to me, the most impressive I've seen on the track so far as navigating his way through traffic and all. And even though he got in a scuffle with, I believe it was Brian earlier, he still rebounded fairly quickly, you know.
Yeah, well, we've seen this from Dylan many times. Now, Dylan is an extremely fast race car driver, and he even gets out and leads a lot. The question is, who's around at a lap 150? And that's where people get paid. And guys like Brian Cole, guys like Austin Miller, Purnell, they tend to get up there at those last laps. So the big question for Dylan tonight is, can he maintain this pace?
He's going to have to pick it up a little bit because the leader's done stretched it out 6.5 seconds. He's in a whole nother zip code at this point.
Yeah, Miller is absolutely gone. So outside of a caution, I don't think he'll be run down tonight. Bradley Smith making a move on Walker. So Bradley Smith's got a little something here tonight. The 95 showing some good driving.
I called him a dark horse, but he's up 4 spots. I mean, he's having a nice race.
Do we know where the point situation is for Bradley?
Well, I'll be honest with you, no. There's 3 series concurrently running. We have the overall, which Brian Cole will probably be the leader, and it's hard to say. We need an update on the folks, so we apologize for that. But we have the late model series, the super late model series, and the SK modified series, so they're running them all in conjunction. So the answer is unknown at this time.
Well, I apologize for setting us up for failure there.
That's quite all right. You know, new in the booth, set me up. It's fine, Brandon.
Put you on the spot, man. They got to keep you on your toes.
I'm just glad he didn't ask me.
I have a feeling it came out similar.
Exactly the same answer.
Yeah.
So Austin Purnell here, still riding around Caleb Dyer. Now, we're just seeing out of the corner of my eye a few laps ago, Purnell kind of got in the wall. Now, Baron, a track like this, why are guys hitting the wall on the straightaway here?
Well, look at practice, Dean. This track is sneaking up on a few guys as these tires get worn out. It's sneaking up on them in a big way.
But you see it again out of Dyer right there. Is there something particular about this track at that spot? Does it jut out? Is it just the way you're always turning? What's going on here?
Well, honestly, it boils down to practice. If you're running these cars week in and week out, and you're actually putting your practice laps in, you'll learn 20, 30 laps into your run where that front end is and where it's headed. Big wide track here for a short track. There's a lot of room to race out here.
They could also be trying to arc that entry in a little bit, everything they can out of it, and just overestimate how wide the car is. Going back to what Byron said just then, that without the amount of laps on the track with this car, you're not going to be real familiar with how wide the car is, and tapping the wall going.
It's absolutely true, but I want to know what got into the 83. Looked like someone just threw a rocket up his tailpipe. He just drove right around the outside of everybody and set sail. So the 83 suddenly on the move.
And look at those left side tires. They're right down on the white line, Dean. That's something we've seen at Austin Miller, too. So
yeah, it looks like all of a sudden he's running just like Miller.
Yeah, I think maybe he's, pasting that white line, and so is Austin.
Well, actually, I just realized what I'm saying here. I know what got in his tailpipe. Right behind him, race leader Austin Miller. That's what got in his tailpipe.
Yeah.
Time to go.
Time to go before you get lapped.
He's got Button down a lap. He's got Kennedy down a lap. Next up, Adam Cole.
Yeah, and Adam's really fired it up since then, though. He does not want to go a lap down. I love it. I mean, his time, so Miller running a 14.52, and then you got Adam running a 14.62, so a little slower.
Well, they say you always run faster when something's chasing you anyway, so might be a product of this.
Yeah, you don't think you run? Let my my pet lion chase you and see how you can run.
You'll get somewhere quick. A lot quicker than what you thought, anyway.
Caleb Dyer is showing wreck, but no, he's just blinking in and out still. So Dyer's still having connection issues here.
And he's got Austin Purnell to contend with. Hey, I'd like to get an in-car of Austin Miller if we can.
Absolutely we can. Very quiet machine here, Baron. I mean, it was so quiet through the corner. He is just rolling that corner.
That is only full song for maybe a second and a half to 2 seconds.
There is not much to it here. Very simple driving out of Miller. And this is what's got him this overwhelming lead. And this is a case of guys will come here, Baron. You see it all the time, and they'll overdrive. He is not overdriving this car at all.
No, very little counter steer effort here. He's just taking it out to the wall and letting it do its thing. I love it. Through the center of the turn, it's right down there on the bottom.
I'll be honest, this is a Sunday drive for him.
Yeah, it's rhythm right here. It's all it is rhythm.
And he's gotten by Adam Cole, so put 8th place a lap down.
9 seconds between him and the 38 machine. My goodness.
How is he doing it here? We've seen, let's go to 2nd place and let's go on board here with Purnell, who finally got around Caleb Dyer. So did Dylan Connor, by the way. And it's just much different here.
He's much higher off the center of the turn.
Yeah, and there's more wheel action. There's more throttle action. He's driving harder. And we're going to get back to live action as Dylan Connor has just drove right by him. So the 92's got it figured out. Let's check on his inboard. And you hear more of the same that you did out of Miller. Much calmer here. And this is the key. I talked to a lot of guys, Baron, try and help them with iRacing and whatnot. And I'm telling you, slower is faster. People don't understand that. It's absolutely true, especially at certain tracks.
Well, and he's painting that yellow line with those left side tires. So he's learned something from Miller here. Moved into 2nd place. Miller's got almost 11 seconds on him, Dean.
It's amazing. I mean, Miller's probably in this group. Look at Miller. He's right there. He's working on Brian Cole. This is unbelievable. It's Miller time tonight. Crack him if you got him, folks.
Yeah, raise a glass.
I mean, these guys might have to spin out just to cause a caution. I mean, we've already had a caution. This isn't even a full 92 laps to get this lead.
Yeah, but look what he's doing here on the bottom. He is lower than everybody else. He's just making that car spin right around the center of that turn. And he's getting that drive off he needs. Brandon, this is a master class in how to short track race.
Your mic cut in and out right there for me. I wasn't able to understand your question, but yeah, Mr. Miller here, man, he's on the rails. He's letting the car do the work for him. If you go back to the in-car camera, you can see coming off the corner, the counter steer he's putting in, that's just letting the rear tires drive him up off the corner. You know, he's not steering the car up there. The car's pushing himself up there. You know, he's getting that good drive off. And I think that's the difference between him and the field.
It's amazing to watch as he picks him off. There's no doubt in my mind he is going to lap the entire field tonight. I mean, Dylan Connor, if he can, in second, if he can keep pace, maybe he stays on the lead lap, but it's unbelievable. Miller right now running a 14.62 in traffic, second place of 14.76. So he is still by far the fastest guy on the track. Purnell close, Dylan Connor close. Actually, Caleb Dyer set the best lap that time. You see the action here from Caleb Dyer. This is a little more active.
Fast hands, fast lap times.
Well, and it usually is, man. This is not bad driving from Caleb Dyer. This is more of what you would see at a usual track, but here just seems like so slower and smoother is faster.
Yeah, that rhythm that you build, man, and consecutive laps sometimes was better than the fast lap every now and then, you know.
So Walker Cole working on Caleb Dyer right now. That's a battle for fourth position. And Miller's right behind him. My goodness. Austin Miller. Oh, and I heard someone screeching the tires there, and around they go. Caleb Dyer.
Oh, there goes Brian.
Brian got a little piece of that. My goodness. So, I mean, there's going to be a few cars that can manage to stay on the lead lap due to caution here on lap 101.
Collateral damage. And he's a lap down. That's a sin.
That seemed to be a product of having that leader on your back bumper, then just the antsiness out of the driver.
Well, that was a product of Walker drilling the rear end not once but twice.
If he couldn't get it done the first time, he got it done the second.
That's a case of playing just the tip again, Baron. Always goes wrong.
It's never quite worth it, is it?
It's not worth it. It just isn't. So Austin Miller, your race leader here, and the pit stalls are open. Brian Cole, everybody coming in, trying to get tires on them. Can this switch things up? It just might. Adam Cole's in. Dyer, Kennedy, Walker Cole on pit road.
I mean, you could throw whatever you want at him. I don't think he's going to be phased as fast as he was.
I doubt it either, but Brian Cole will put him to the test. I mean, if it's one guy who can do it, it's him.
Well, Kennedy he won't get the dog because he took tires, so who got the dog?
Well, yeah, is Brian Cole not on? He is not on the lead lap.
Yeah, somebody had to get the dog.
Well, Bradley Smith is in. I think Bradley got the lucky dog. So Bradley gets the lucky dog and pits. And he's going to try to stay on the lead lap here. I think he will. Yes. So Bradley Smith in 5th position on the lead lap.
Do we know if these guys are limited on tires? They only got 1 or 2 sets?
One set in the garage is all they got. So I think Miller probably already used his. He'd be done for the night.
I would definitely look out for Bradley then. He'd probably put his set on now. He's going to have a lot of speed out of that car compared to the others.
You would think so, but from experience, these guys can ride on old ones. Miller down and away. Walker Cole trying to stay underneath of Dylan Connor. Connor trying to push it on the high side. And we're back under caution as Bradley Smith stayed on pit road. I'm not seeing any accident. Oh, boy. Brian Cole throwing a bumper out on the track and the hood and a couple other pieces.
That man's race car.
Something bad has happened to him. That's a violation, folks. Show me where he touched you. So the 15 riding here, Colin J behind him, come in the corner, and Colin gives him a little poke in the rear end, and bam, that's a hard lick there. Chunks of that car flying all over the place. All right, so an eventful little restart there. Brian's got good air conditioning on that machine now.
Gonna keep those tires cool, Dean.
Absolutely. The brake rotors will be fine.
They have a fast repair on this series. Let's see if Brian uses it. Or maybe he already did.
He must have, because, I mean, if there was ever a time to get that thing repaired, it'd be now. So that's what I was trying to say. In this series, what we've noticed is new tires not that helpful. It's very rare that someone on new tires will make a big headway through the field. As surprising as it may seem, even 100 lap older tires can usually hold them off.
That is surprising. I would have never guessed that. I guess they already got the heat in them, the good and sticky, and just probably more comfortable at that point.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's about rhythm. A lot of tracks, you'll see the fastest laps being run later in the run as opposed to early in the run, so it's very interesting. Fuel load, probably highly important. Guys who overfill that tank, probably going to do more harm than good.
Yeah, that added weight's definitely going to burn them rear tires up a little bit more.
So here we go. Willy's Woodshed 150 back under green flag action. Miller with another good start. Walker dives in and grabs second. Watch out for Walker Cole. He's looking like he's ready to race. Purnell looking for 3 in a row. He's trying to grab third. He does. Connor falling here. Here comes Walker Cole. Takes a peek to the inside. Miller trying to hold him off. Tires may be important here.
As Austin Miller got his hands full now. Ooh, Austin Purnell loose out the back end.
Yep, big time there.
No pun intended.
This fight for the lead continues. Miller lets him go. So I'm pretty sure Miller kind of backed out there and let him go. Walker to the lead.
Got the young gun up front.
Yes, sir. Walker Cole doing something here. He says, I'll take fresh rubber. You're not going to get me tonight. Miller was going to lap the field. Not anymore. Purnell runs second now. He's got a lot of work to do and only 34 laps remaining to get it done.
Wonder how bad he hurt his tires with how loose he got off the corner a while ago. He was real sideways, looking out the passenger window, getting that thing straight.
Yeah, I think you give him a couple laps to cool him down. He should be all right. I don't think he'd do a whole lot of damage. It's possible, though.
And he's caught Austin Miller, so...
well, you know, I said tires don't mean anything. That's what's going on here, Baron.
Right, just to prove you wrong again, huh?
Absolutely. So put Purnell up to second. He's still looking for that trifecta. Get your tickets ready.
I'm going to be keeping my eye on the gap here now. We're at a second and a half now that Purnell took over second place. I'm going to see if he's going to be closing in on that 10 here in the next few laps.
Well, Purnell, let's hop on board with Purnell and see how he's driving right now. See if he's starting to over push that machine. Doesn't look like it. Good rotation there through the corner, Baron.
There ain't a whole lot of... I'm sorry, go ahead.
He's got a lot of brake bias in that thing in the back. You can tell it's steering loose into it, right?
Well, that's something, I mean, you talk about once in a while. I mean, you recommend that, don't you? A very low brake bias?
At a short track, I do. The turns are so tight that you need the brakes to help you steer the car. And you can see as he's entering the turn, right, he's kind of giving the front end a little bump, and then he's counter steering as the back end follows in. So it's a little bump, and then he goes all the way into his turn, and he comes out, and he's a little loose, but that's okay. He likes that. And see that bump? And then he's following in the rear end in. So, look, that's a talent I don't have, but I've seen it before.
Right. You know, I can coach it. I can talk about it, but doing it's another story. Right now, he's still at 1.5 from our race leader.
25 to go.
And there is the Krispy Kreme machine trying to make a delivery.
Well, we were ready to crown the 42 the winner here, and this caution's thrown that all up in the air. He's under pressure now from 4th and 5th.
Yeah, I mean, he is. He's under heat. These old tires, it's just, he did not expect a caution. He made a call. Caution come out late, and it's just unfortunate for him. His race is going to, I mean, his chances of winning are effectively over. Adam Cole takes a look underneath. He's looking to bring Caleb Dyer with him.
If I remember right, the 42 pitted and took his tires on that first caution. That was almost a solid 100 laps ago. So, I mean, them tires.
That's contact, folks. That's up close contact right there. Yeah, he took his tires, and that's contact again. Dyer getting into the back of everybody here. We'll just stay here and keep hitting people.
Might get another caution yet.
Well, by the looks of it, we're close to it. So I think you're right, though. I think Miller took tires like on lap like 40 or something, didn't he, Brandon?
I believe so. That's around the first caution. Yeah, I think he did. He came in, and him and Dylan both, I believe, took tires on that first stop.
Yeah, lap 40 for him and Connor. You're right. So that battle goes on. Walker Cole, as his lead has been cut down to under a second. 17 to go for the 38. Looking for his third in a row. Walker Cole looking to take the checkered flag here and grab a win.
Got the leader staring out his rear view, and the second place has got his tongue out waiting on the prize. Did you see the 10 getting loose coming off of 2, it looked like a while ago? So he's getting antsy.
Yeah, he's starting to feel the heat here. I like it, though. Do you stick your tongue out when you're leading, Baron?
Well, something's out.
You put him right up on the dash, do you?
Yeah, gotta let it get some air, you know.
So down to 3/4 of a second here. Let's bring up our time delta here. And you can see the progress that's been made over the 5 laps shown on our board. I don't know. He's got to continue at this pace or pick it up a little bit. Purnell has to get there with 5 to go because he's going to need some time to make the pass.
He can't afford very many mistakes. He lost a 10th off of that last lap there, and he's going to have to pick it back up if he's going to close this race out for 3 in a row.
Yeah, he might have overheated that machine. Walker starting to smooth out. Let's hop on board with Walker here and see how he's driving. Cranking that wheel a little bit, but I like the late exit. That's always a thing with me. Get that car pointed straight before you hit the gas.
Well, this is the kind of track that plays into that strategy too, Dean, because those nice wide sweeping turns, you get it pointed in the right direction, you're in pretty good shape.
Absolutely. Walker doing a nice job. And this is a leader's line here. This is like, let's shorten this track up. Let's keep it smooth, keep it low, keep it clean. He's doing everything right in my estimation, which means he could be in trouble, folks.
If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be sitting pretty for the victory, though. That 10 car, he's pretty much holding the gap the same here, getting close to 5 to go. And
yeah, here comes Purnell now, making a late little push here. He might have just cooled him down a little bit, see if he can't get another run. And it looks like that's what he's done, as he gets under 7/10 here. So the 38's coming. Is it too little too late, or did he cool him off enough, Baron?
Well, I think it's a little too late. He might get there, but passing him is going to be a whole different strategy.
it's short track racing, Barry. That bumper comes into play.
Yeah, and they got a rule you can't do that here, so he's going to have to figure something out pretty quick.
Well, in that case, he's going to have to tighten it up then.
So Purnell continuing to chase. Walker Cole down to 4 to go for the Krispy Kreme machine. Dylan Connors falling back to 5th now. Miller fell back to 4th. Those guys with their tire strategy just not working out. Dyer sits in 3rd. And we're back to Purnell in 2nd, chasing Purnell. That little shake there is going to pretty much end it. Walker Cole coming to 2 to go here for the victory.
What a heartbreak for Austin Miller, too, man. He had such a commanding lead right before that last caution, and it totally changed the tide of the race. But that number 10 machine, man, he kept that car pretty clean all race, and he's showing it off now, final lap.
Yeah, Walker Cole out of 2, down into 3. Last lap here in the Willy's Woodshed 150. It's going to be Walker Cole, your race winner. Austin Purnell in 2nd. Caleb Dyer will come home 3rd. Austin Miller looking to grab 4th with Dylan Connor right there for 5th. Colin J, I think, a lap down. Adam Cole, a lap down. And Brian Cole, Brad Abley, Bradley Smith, Jeff Button. Those are your race contestants. And Walker Cole is getting a little sandwich there. I don't know.
A little bit of love.
A little bit of love.
Congratulations.
That could be considered bad love. I'm not sure. Great job by Walker, though, and we've seen this from Walker for all the time that we broadcast him. He's another one. I mean, he's a Cole, right? He shows up late all the time, Baron.
And natural talent with that car. We've seen him handle car control that really embodies a great race car driver. The practice is one thing, but that car control is a completely different animal, and he's got it.
Well, he practiced these burnouts, and now he hit the wall, so I'm not sure. He put a little front brake on there, and you see him rotating here. Nice circular donuts there. Anyway, right now, let's take a short commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get race interviews with our top 3 finishers. All right, back here at the Willy's Woodshed 150 as we had a quick look in on those trucks. The Furniture Mart Weekly Series. It's Walker Cole down in Victory Lane, and we're going to forego interviews here tonight, guys. We're just going to wrap it up here. The results of the race, I mean, obviously Miller was something to talk about tonight. What he did, clearly tires proved to be a bit of advantage here, Brandon. You were talking a bit about him. So Miller, that lap 40 pit stop, probably with those tires is what, I mean, along with some great driving, is what got him that big lead.
Yeah, I don't blame him for taking the tires so early, though. I mean, with the field size that they had tonight, I would expect the long green flag running myself. So not necessarily a bad call, but it came back to bite him in the tail late.
It did. And Barron, we look in on the race. I mean, a small field, decisions are important, and sometimes luck is the best thing. And I'm not saying Walker was lucky, but the late race caution really gave him second life.
It sure did. We saw what Austin Miller did in the center of that race, and look, he had potential to lap the entire field. Late race caution, the racing gods giveth and the racing gods taketh away sometimes, Dean. And tonight, the racing gods gave it over to the 10 machine of Walker Cole.
Yeah, they certainly did. And we congratulate Mr. Walker Cole. A great job by him sitting down in victory lane. And right now, we end the broadcast here for the Willy's Woodshed 150, and I hope you'll join us next Wednesday, 9:20 p.m. Of course, we'll be on tomorrow night as we got the RGR Racing League Truck Series. Can't wait to get that one to it. Should be a nice big 30-car field out there. Come join us for that. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Baron Labosco, and Mr. Brandon Bass joining us here tonight, that's going to wrap it up here from Southern National. We'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.